okay? Oh. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Real Red Stock. Today, we are putting the entire Manchester United squad through the ringer. Red to green. Who's got to go? Who's crucial to keep? Let me know your list in the comments below. We've got me, Sam, Civir, and Shreyas with some critical decisions to make. So let's just get straight into it. No more meme talking off camera. People won't know what that means. But yeah, these two children below me were laughing amongst themselves. So there was a slight delay to the start. Anyway, right, let's get into this tier list. You've got all the United squad basically, including a couple of loanies in there as well. And all your categories are on the screen as well. So you've got get rid, sell if possible, one more season, keep as a backup option, basically, and then crucial. They are all the categories. And I appreciate, obviously, as well, there's going to be players who are leaving anyway, like Evans, Eriksson, etc. And there'll be youngsters who you probably want to send out on loan. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Are you happy with them category, lads? Or any objections or anything?
No, I know where most of mine are going, so.
Yeah. I can't imagine the green's going to be a very favourable category, is it, for quite a lot of players? So, yeah, I expect a lot of players in the red. And anyone who's watching, make sure you go along with us as well. So, obviously, we're going to start with the goalkeepers, lads. And we'll start off with everybody's favourite goalkeeper, Andre Onana. Who wants to kick things off on this one?
I'll keep it simple.
Just a quick question: Is this a realistic thing, or is this just us? What
you want him to? What you want him to do?
What we want to happen.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is, because it's four of us, we're gonna say what we want, and whichever is the most voted, it goes in there. Okay.
Yeah.
Get rid. Easy.
Get rid.
Very simple.
Get rid.
Yeah. So.
Unanimous decision. Sorry, Andre Onana, you are in the get rid section. Okay, next up, Altai Bayındır, Biscuit Fingers Bayındır.
Get rid.
Get rid. Get rid.
This is going to be a quick one, isn't it? Jimmy?
Sorry.
Yeah, get rid. Okay, he's straight in there as well. Sorry, Bayındır. Tom Heaton.
Isn't he retiring?
Retiring? Is he not retiring?
Well, that's fine. I'll leave him on there if he is. I didn't think he was retiring, but okay. That's not a problem at all. Goodbye, Mr. Tom. Victor Lindelof.
He's leaving anyway, isn't he? So.
Yeah. Okay. He is in get rid as well, but / kind of leaving. Mazraoui.
Keep. Yeah, keep him.
Yeah, so not crucial. Just what, keep as a backup or which one?
I'll say crucial.
I'll say crucial as well, yeah.
I'd put him in backup depending on what we bring in terms of like signings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because
I would agree with that.
Far too many games this season that I don't want to see him playing that many games.
Yeah, I think I would agree. I would like him as a utility player. I think if you're near the top of the table, I would have him as that and someone else as a first team starter. But given the nature of the situation that we're in, I'll just put him in critical. For now. I think that's probably fair. Pop him in there, Mr. Mazraoui. We're going through this quite quick, lads. Very good. Mateus de Ligt.
Keep him. Crucial.
Can I just ask you, very quickly on de Ligt? Have you been impressed with him first season at United?
Yeah, really solid player. Puts his body on the line. Will absolute fight for everything. Got leadership qualities. He's still young. Injuries are a little bit of a concern. Like, he started to pick up quite a few towards the end of the season. But, yeah, apart from that, solid player.
Shreyas?
Yeah, for me as well. I think coming into this team and, he was, I would say, one of the media's hot targets when he was signed by United. A lot of the critics and a lot of media was targeting him. So, to come around from that and then to have the season that he's had and, being that sort of a leader in that back line, I think he's done exceptionally well.
Okay. Civir?
I think he's been good. I don't have as high a praise as the other guys do, but I think he's been good. The only reason for me is just the inconsistency. Like, he hasn't been consistently, performing at a high level for a long period of time. We've seen glimpses of what he can bring, so I'll keep him, but he hasn't been like amazing. So I don't know.
I actually agree with you. I think we as United fans overrate him slightly with de Ligt.
Yeah,
I really do. But I think he's a good defender in there. I think he's solid. But I certainly think he can improve. But where are we putting him, the lads?
So, okay.
Critical, keep as a backup.
For me, he's critical, but
For me as well, critical.
Yeah.
Critical? Okay, I think that's probably fair. I'll go with critical. Whack Mr. Mateus in there. Then we have a very interesting one. I think he's got a year left on his deal anyway. I mean, there was quotes coming out that he wanted to stay for the rest of the thing here. So, yeah, Harry Maguire.
Keep, man.
Keep.
What's it? Give him a year. Is that one of the categories?
One more season. That's the category.
Yeah, that's one more season, but we have to find somebody else like next summer. That's what I would put him.
Okay. Shreyas, what would you go for, mate?
I'll go the same. I'll go with the same.
Yeah. So one more season. Just on Maguire, there was quite a lot of praise from him, I felt, after, obviously, the moments in the Europa League. But I feel like a couple of the performances towards the end, you saw bits of the old Maguire a little bit. Is he another one who we've hyped up too much because of them moments, or do you think his overall performances have actually been pretty good and anyone can jump in on that?
I think he's had a better season than De Ligt, to be honest.
Interesting.
And I think so. His leadership has really come to the fore. He has had moments where, we've seen the old Maguire, but I think he's really stepped up this season in terms of taking responsibility. So yeah, I'd keep him, especially if it's just one more season back. I'd rather keep him as a placeholder before we get someone else coming. Well, yeah.
You think about that goal, Shreyas, that Bilbao scored, when he give it away, when he just passed it clumsily, and obviously the goal that he scored was world class. You can't really prevent that. But moments like that, he still has that in his locker every now and then, doesn't he?
Yeah, but again, he's the age that he has, the age that he is in, he cannot really work on his weaknesses that much. The flaws that are present in his game or the weaknesses that are present in this game, it's only going to amplify more and more as more time passes. So, and for again to say, with the injury crisis that we've had, for him to fill in a lot of games and to have decent performances in, I would say, majority of those games, I think it's a big ask from someone like Maguire. And again, when we needed him, he actually stepped up. Be it the Europa League, be it games against Liverpool and City as well. I think he did step up in those big games, and he's been a massive professional. I think a lot of the other players in this team get really fussy when they don't get minutes or when they do get benched. I think he's taken it in a very positive manner and actually bounced back and made his place in this team. And again, as a backup option, someone to turn to, especially while you're playing this system, I think he can actually be quite useful for us next season as well.
Yeah, he's playing that I think Amrin alluded to, is that Coates role that he did for Sporting Lisbon. I think he's done that quite well. But I still see little kind of cobwebs in his game that I'm like, that's what doesn't fully convince me that he's a top defender, just in my opinion, at least. Sam, do you want to kick us off with Leacher? Because he's someone who we adore, obviously, for many different reasons. But I mean, injuries have got to come into it, haven't they?
Yeah, I think if you just sort of take the injuries out of it, he is integral to everything. Like, he's a leader, he's a warrior, he fights for everything. He's one of the only defenders that can take the ball when he's like off the thing and play out from the back. He's the only one we've got really who can do that. His injuries are definitely starting to pile up now. That's two major injuries he's had while he's been with us. I know they're not necessarily his fault, but
I think it's 3 in it.
It's 3 now.
Yeah. He had the one against Sevilla, the one against West Ham with Kufal, and then the one recently.
Yeah. So it is getting to a point now where you're like, is this going to impact him going forward? Like, is he going to be the same player? Like we saw when he came back from not the one that he's just got now, but the most recent one. It took him a while to get back, and then he started coming back, and he looked like the old Leacher. But is it going to happen again? I don't know. So yeah, it's worrying. So for me, he's a backup level. He's not a critical player because we've not had him for the times that we do need him. If he can stay fit and injury free, then yeah, he's a critical player. But at the minute, he's on the backup thing for me.
It's weird, isn't it, Chiv? He's almost like a forgotten player at the moment. But you think about his form at Anfield, for example, and he was actually scoring goals against Fulham and stepping forward. Similar, I would probably say, to Lenny Yoro a little bit, innit? You know, like pushing forward and creating those kind of overloads. But is he one who we overrate as well in your mind, or is he a critical player?
I think it's critical. I don't think we overrate it. I don't know any other central defender, and please correct me if I'm wrong, who's better with the ball at their feet in the Prem than Lisandro.
I think there's ones who are close to him.
Yeah, there's ones. No, yeah. So he's just as
up
good
there.
as he's up there when it comes to like the ball at his feet. Because you would mistake him for a midfielder the way he's so comfortable with the ball.
Yeah.
He's had quite a few. The pass he gave to Ahmad for the City goal. There's a few other plays that he makes from behind, and he's the perfect sort of defender that we need for this system, because the system we're playing requires everyone to be really, really good with the ball at their feet, and he's perfect for that. He can start attacks from the back. He understands. I mean, his spatial awareness is good. Yeah, he doesn't have the feet to cover up, to cover like spaces, but his awareness, like he's always scanning, I think is crucial. Yeah, the injuries really have put a dent into his game. We could see that with every other injury, it takes him a while to get back to form when he comes back. And that's like time that we don't have, literally. But I still think it's crucial. I still think we, at least for the next season, like if he comes back and it's the same, then then we have to reconsider his position. But if he's able to make a full recovery and come back into the team, I would say it's crucial.
Right, someone's kicking off outside my house, which is fantastic timing. So I really appreciate that. I'm just sorry. I have listened to the majority of what you just said, but I'm just hearing "Mum's life," "Swear down," "I'll have you," and all that outside. So I don't know what's going on. Shreyas, I'll ask you the question on Lisandro Martinez as well. Where when does it get to the point with you where you're like, breaking point? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm finished with him, or do you still want to see another season from him and just see kind of how he gets on?
I'm already on the fence with him. The reason being because he gives he genuinely gives us a good spell of like 2 to 3 months, and then the moment he picks up an injury, there is a big void that is left behind. But what happened this season, I think Lenny Yoro stepped up big time. I think when we actually saw Aiden Heaven come in place of him, I think Aiden Heaven looked really calm and composed and really mature in that position as well. And I don't think he'll be sold. I think even the manager really fancies him in that position, but I don't think if he picks up another injury, which I hope he doesn't pick, I think Yoro, Heaven, and other players who play in that position might get more opportunities than him in that position. And if after coming back into that injury, he can compete with those guys and actually take his spot back, I think that's a big question mark, because the way Yoro has been progressing has been absolutely amazing, especially in this season. And going into next season with additions, I think Yoro will look even better. I think you could probably say other players who maybe we get another centre back in, and even if we don't, there are other players who probably might step up. So the competition in that backline will be extremely high.
Okay, I think that's fair. Okay, get rid, sell if possible, one more season, keep as a backup, crucial. What are we going with?
One more season.
Interesting. Sam, what did you say?
I said backup, but if, like Chivy said, if he can find his form, then he's critical.
But backup for now, just so I've got a vote. Chivy, and you said critical.
I did, yeah.
Oh. I'm going to throw him in the one more season, I agree with Shreyas. I'd put him in there. Just because it's like a democracy kind of thing, I'll put him in there. If that's even the correct word, I don't know. I think the next one's going to be pretty fucking unanimous. He was another player who I just basically forgot even played for the club. Malacia.
He's gone, isn't he?
He's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unanimous, Chiva,
Yeah.
Absolutely fine. Yeah, no problems with that. Even though he has just won a league title, hasn't he, with the PSV. One moment I remember from him, though, he was chasing a player back. I can't remember what game it was when they scored, and he got...
Europa League.
Who was it?
It was Europa, yeah. It was
he got
Europa
burnt out, didn't he? Rapid.
Bodo Glimt, yeah.
Yeah, spot on. Yeah, that was enough for me. Seen enough. Patrick Dorgu.
Keep.
One more season. Yeah.
One more season. Ooh.
I've not
Do you
seen,
rate
I've
him?
not seen enough.
Like, what do you think of him overall? Just.
I've
I
not
mean,
seen enough yet. I've not seen enough.
Same, like he's got the quality that we need, but it just hasn't really picked up. Like we've seen glimpses. I do like him on the right hand side. Damn it.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
20 minutes we saw, that was brilliant. If we can get more of that, both of them, I think he's one of them players that relies on chemistry with the players playing with that sort of thing. On the right hand side with Ahmad, I think they had like 20 minutes. They looked amazing. There were times when I wasn't actually sure for the first 2 seconds who actually had the ball because because the way it was. But on the left, I don't know. Yeah, backup or maybe one season.
What worries you
100%.
about him? Like from his game, when you watch it overall, what do you look at and you go, he's not good enough at that?
It's the concentration. So physically, he's got the attributes. Like physically, he's talented, he's everything. But then sometimes his reading of the game, concentration, losing his man sometimes. Like it's not just on there. But then he has all the attributes that it takes. So I'm willing to gamble. Like, it's one of them things where if the team is playing well, he's one of them players where he'd pick up. Like if he left United and went to Newcastle or Arsenal or something, where everyone kind of just played, where the chemistry was all sound, like you'd see a far better player. But
yeah, I wouldn't trust him defensively in a back four. Me personally, I think as a wing back, maybe you can grow him into that mold. He's athletic enough to get up and down the pitch. He's got the physical strength, and when he gets into the box, he does put decent crosses in. But I think, like you said, his awareness at times, even when you look at the final, I think he was at fault for that personally. When they scored, the lack of communication. But it's his first year in it, so it's kind of like you've seen plenty of players come to United who, I mean, Evra and Vidic was shit for like 8 months. I'm not suggesting that he's going to have a career like them in any sense of the imagination, but you can kind of see that he's a young player, he needs to develop. So what are we putting him in?
He deserves time, doesn't he? Like you can't.
Yeah, I think so.
6 months.
I think
he deserves time.
Yeah.
Okay. Keepers backup, crucial. One more season. Where are we chucking him?
Keep him as a backup.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean,
but maybe I'm being brutal, but I know Omar Barada said when he came in, there's not going to be players allowed to just sort of coast along anymore. Like you can't just be here for 3 seasons and not deliver. So I think one more season, if we start seeing progression and start seeing things improve, then great. If we don't, I think it might be time.
I agree.
So we're split on that. Right, we'll let the viewers decide on that. One more season or keepers backup. Let us know in the comments section. I'll just put him in keepers backup for now.
Sam, what did you say, Sam? Sam, did you say keepers backup or one more season?
I said one more season. I said one more season.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
So that
should take the vote, shouldn't it?
No. Me and Shreya said keepers backup.
Right.
So it's split, but we don't have a split column. So it'll stay there for now, but the viewers can decide on that one. Lenny Yoro.
Keep critical.
Absolute critical.
Yeah. We haven't had many incredible buys, have we, really, when you think about it, especially for the past 10 years, but he's definitely a superstar in Shreyas.
Oh, he definitely is. And again, he's been massively influential for us in the latter half of the season, especially in the Europa League as well. And I think he's probably one of those players who have actually seen improve a lot this season, because I think after that Southampton game, I could see that, his confidence has actually dipped down a bit. But, he's actually worked on it. And, we used to say that, against pacey wingers or agile wingers, maybe, he's still losing his step. But he actually bounced back from it very, very nicely and took it on the chin and actually developed his game under Amorim. And he's probably one of the few players under Amorim who have actually seen he's learned from his mistakes. This is an area where he's worked on, and now when he's coming up against same profile of wingers, his output and I would say his success rate while winning ground duels has been much, much better in comparison to what I saw when he just came in back from his injury.
Yeah, he's actively improved. I think that's the one good thing. Like, a lot of United players had a setback, and it seems to they struggle with it for a few games afterward. But he was just. We speak about Dogger before about concentration levels. Yoro, it just seems to his attitude and application and the way his mindset is in each game that I really, really. For a young player, I thought he was our best player in the final, to be honest with you. Him and Dorgu, weirdly enough, I thought were probably our better players. The rest of the team just didn't show up. And for someone so young to show that kind of level of ability in a final, you can see why Real Madrid wanted him. So I think, yeah, crucial. He's one player. I think a lot of the United fans, I'd be surprised if anyone turned around and said, nah, we don't want to keep him. So yeah, I think that's probably fair. Diego Dalot.
Get rid. I'm done with him.
Depends. Like if he's playing centre back, one of the back three, 100%, I'll keep him. But playing as a wing back just doesn't do it.
Centre back. Have we seen him there enough though to make that
Yeah,
conclusion?
yeah. I've seen there a couple of times. It's more like a diverse role. I'm comfortable with him there, but as a wing back,
Not as a wing back, but again,
Yeah.
I'll keep him as a backup. The only reason being he's someone who you can rely on when it comes to availability. I'm not saying that he's someone who's good enough to be a starter. And with United, what we've seen the past 3 seasons, I would say, is that injury crisis always follows us. You know, we've seen it this season, we've seen it past season as well. The amount of injuries we pick up is actually shocking. So if you have someone like Dalo, you at least have that option that, to close out games, you can actually put him on, or in, the not so relevant games, you can actually put him on and just see games out, because you cannot risk players every single game. And the amount of game time that these players are playing is actually a lot. So you need to manage the game time. And when you are managing game time, you also have to see how many players are competent enough to have that many minutes or have enough left in their tank. So for me, Dalo as a backup, I would keep, but as a wing back, not at all,
No.
because I don't see a future for him as a wing back.
Tell
as a
me
centre
what
back, he's even more. He's more of an attacking threat as a centre back than he is as a wing back. Because I remember one game when he gets moved from wing back to centre back. I think we made a sub, and he's floating more balls than he did as a.
I think it was
wing-back.
Everton.
And
Maybe it was Everton.
It might have been, yeah, but he just looked more comfortable there, and I was just like, okay, he looks far more assured as a centre back than playing as a wing back. But
Tell me what he excels at, because he doesn't excel at anything. He's not an excellent defender. He's not an excellent attacker. He's crossing at a ball. Sometimes he's all right. Sometimes he's not. Doesn't really score that many goals. He just doesn't excel at anything. So what? Oh yeah, high fives. Fantastic. Why are we keeping players like this? I don't. Oh, he's great. He's a all the time. Fantastic.
I think he's a more than average when it comes to like passing, when it comes to like like moving the ball from the back, but not as a wing back. This is what I'm saying.
No, for me as well, yeah.
Yeah, far more of an attacking threat.
For me,
but I get your points. Like, there's no, if anyone wants him out, like it's this. I can clearly understand.
If we like can sell him on for like 30-35 million, I would actually take that offer. But I don't think that United are in that space right now where we can keep on offloading and actually replace the guy. Yeah.
Even 25, I'll take. Even 25. So I completely understand it with people. It's just a personal preference. But go on, Nick.
I get the consistency argument, and I get the fact that there's going to be a lot of players moving on. For me, though, he is one of the roots of the issues at United in a minute, having those flaky players who just seem to crumble at times. Now, people will talk about his attitude and everything off the pitch and how he trains. He's ultimate professional, right? No criticism on that. I've seen so many times him in a game pass it out. Just pass it out multiple times in the game where he's a little bit under pressure.
He doesn't even look either. He just passes it out to space, and you're like, mate.
His concentration at the back post at times is fucking awful. He doesn't suit the system at all. I think we've got enough centre backs to cover in those kind of wide areas instead of him playing there. I would get rid personally. I don't rate him at all, honestly. So I think, is that 2 votes? But what did you, Shreyas and Civir?
2 apiece. But then I can understand. I don't know about Shreyas, but I'm happy to concede for him to go. So I get your point.
Yeah. But likewise as well, I think mirrored. I think I understand yours as well, 100%. I don't think he will be sold in the summer if I'm just to chuck that out there. Luke Shaw,
get rid.
It's time, innit, lads?
Yeah.
It's time. Has to be. I mean, him coming out in after the game saying, I don't know if I'm good enough for Man United. For a player to come out and say that, you're like, What they saying in the dressing room? Where's the belief? Where's the? Do you know what I mean?
He's so like, I know injuries are not players' faults. I know they're not their faults, and they don't want to be injured. But he's just never available. He's never available, and you can't have a player in your squad who we've had for nearly 10 years, and his availability has been minimal, like minimal. You just can't. You can't carry on.
He's
with
had
that.
10 years at the club. Do you know what I mean? Nearly a decade.
And
He's signed under Van Gaal.
Yeah. Less appearances than Bruno in the same time span.
The one thing that came with it last time when he did come back from injury was like, okay, he's the player again. But he looks miles off it at the minute for me. He just does not look good at all. I've not rated anything I've seen from him. So is he okay to go and get rid, lads? Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, we're nearly done with the defenders. We'll get into the midfielders and attackers in a minute. Let's shift through a couple of these. Aiden Heaven, back up at the minute.
Yeah. He's a good player. Very good player.
Yeah, I like what I've seen from him. It was a shame for him to get that injury against Leicester, but I'm sure we'll see a lot of him next season because he looks promising. For the price as well, fucking hell. Absolute bargain. One thing Ineos have done right with some of the young players, I suppose. Johnny Evans is leaving, so I'll just kind of get rid of that there. We don't need to discuss that. Harry Amas, back up.
Loan him out.
Yeah, maybe needs a loan. Maybe needs a loan.
I'll put him back up, but technically loan.
Yeah,
do you know
physical,
what I mean?
Get like bulk up a bit, get a bit more sort of strength.
Yeah, the James Garner kind of loan, Ahmad kind of loan, championship, something like that. Do we expect?
Yeah.
For him, okay.
Well,
you agree with that?
Sunderland has just been promoted, so maybe that might be a good option.
Yeah, team near the bottom, something. Just quickly on Amas, Chive, impressed what you've seen from him, or do you think he's got a lot to work on?
He's got a lot to work on, but I've been impressed with his most recent games. Like when he first started playing this season, if you
in the Wolves game,
I was impressed. But what game was it? Was it the Wolves game?
Yeah,
Newcastle was bad.
As that inverted wing back.
Yeah, he's getting his game is becoming a lot more matured. So there's something promising there, but he still has a lot to work on.
Yeah. I think United fans would agree with that as well. Another one who I'd put into similar category, Fredrickson. I've been very, very impressed and very surprised. Yeah.
Like we never heard of him. Like I didn't know. Like he wasn't one of the youth players that was being talked about. There was never any sort of news or noise about him. And then all of a sudden he shows up and he's in the team, and you're like, who the fuck's this kid? Like I was at the game, I think his first game, and I was looking at it, who the fuck's that? Like I didn't know what it was. Like from he's asking me, Wolves, and then he started playing. I was like, oh shit, this kid's got something. Like he's good. He's solid. Kept it simple. Didn't make any mistakes.
Yeah.
Quite tall as well. I like him. He'd be a good backup.
Controversial. Yeah. Controversial opinion. This is just my personal. I prefer what I see from him than with Aiden Heaven personally.
Oh.
Just the way he manages the ball. Like Aiden's first game, I think it was against Arsenal, wasn't it?
Arsenal.
He defended very, very well, but when he's passing, like he wasn't sure of his passing. Like you could tell, like it wasn't really like clicking, you know. But Frederick, I think he's got a football IQ. For me, that's what I like in players. So it's just a personal thing. I'm not saying he's better, just personally.
Yeah.
I prefer him to.
He's on a similar level to Toby Collier. He doesn't get stressed.
IQ.
He's just like bang. I know what I'm doing. So like he has to stay. He's good.
I can imagine him having a career maybe in like the Italian league later on if he does make a move with the way he plays. He's tactically astute, very very calm player. He surprised me so much because I was like, who the fuck is this kid? I've never watched him. What backup are we putting him?
Yeah, backup.
Yeah, I'm all for that. Now this one, Mason Mount.
Get rid time. Like I can't. Like me and Chivy. Like I'll let Chivy have his moment because I know how his feelings on it. But we paid 65 million for him in his last year of his contract. He's been injured for 90% of the time he's been at United, and all he's shown is that 30 minutes at Bilbao. That's all we've seen from him. Like
that sounds like the title of his United documentary.
30 minutes at Bilbao. Yeah.
I tell you what, he was expensive, but those 30 minutes in Bilbao, fucking hell, mate.
Unless next season he becomes the Mason Mount of what we saw at Chelsea, I don't see the benefit of keeping him. I really don't.
Yeah, we've taken a loss in that one, to be fair.
Yeah.
The stage was set for him in the final.
Yeah.
I
didn't even know he was playing. I didn't even know he was playing. Honestly,
No,
I didn't even know he was
I have
playing.
to agree with that. When I saw the semi-final at Old Trafford, I thought, okay, he's arrived. Finally, we're going to get this player. And when he was starting in the final, I thought, I'm happy with that decision. I think, he suits that system.
He's on the right.
Earned it. Presses really well from the front. Has that intensity that Amrin desires. But then I just did nothing all game. Now, sometimes that can come from relationships on the pitch. He's never played with Dorgu, really. I mean, he's played a couple of games. With little things like that can come into it, I think. But if we're using the same measuring stick with Leacher and others who have been injured as well, I think it's probably his time to get rid of him. And that's hard for me to say because I really like him as a player. But I think it's time.
The only grace I give him is that with the system that we're playing, you need like galaxy level, not even world class, like galaxy class attackers to be able to do this because it's a lot of responsibility. Like you'd always have to
like dogs at you. You've got to fucking work your ass off.
Yeah.
Not just that. Yeah, you're always going to be up against at least 2 defenders at every given time. Like there's no one close to you. Like it's literally you're going to have to pull this on.
That's why I'm signing Cunha.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, so I'm going to give him that grace because it's not easy to put up, But apart from, just in general, I think it's done. I think it never should have happened.
Yeah,
never should have.
That's fair. Unanimous, Shreyas, with that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Mason Mount alongside his buddy Luke Shaw there. In the get rid section, Christian Eriksen's leaving anyway, so I will thingy that. And next up, ladies and gentlemen, the captain Bruno Fernandes.
Keep.
Yeah,
keep or crucial?
Crucial keep.
Crucial.
He's crucial, and we should keep him. However, if Saudi offers stupid money, I would sell him. If they come in with like 150 million, I'm talking.
Would we all agree on that? If Saudi came in now with a £150 million bid for Bruno Fernandes, would you take it?
Yeah.
Shreyas saying no.
I think
no.
How come?
The reason is, I'm still not convinced with United when they actually go out and sign attackers.
Yeah.
Because when you look at our hit and miss, when it comes to the attacking signings that we've made, it is probably 95% miss and 5% hit. And it's genuinely honest. And I don't know which player we could actually entice and go that, come to United, and he ends up, coming to United and delivers 30 goal contributions a season. I don't know who will be able to do, actually able to do that. I think I do understand that if he does bring in 150 million, helps us, maybe we sign a couple more players. But will they have the impact when we are bombing on forward? Will that player be able to step up with performances when we are massively struggling? And I know next season isn't going to be a cakewalk either. With other teams actually, with how cutthroat and how swift they've been with signings, it's only going to get tougher. So, and right now, when I look into our attack, Bruno is probably the only one who I go, even if he has a shit season, we'll at least get 25 goal contribution out of him. I cannot say that about other players. And I don't know if I really like us signing Cunha. I really like other signings who we might get linked to in this summer window. But I still cannot say that Cunha is going to get us 25 goal contributions as of now. I really wish it works out. And I think if it works out, he'll be extremely incredible in this system. But the hit and miss signing when it comes to attackers is really, really bad for United.
This sounds like a mad question to ask. Does he expand on that as well if you want, Javed? But does he really suit the system as well? Because it seems like we're kind of teetering between midfield. Yes, is he a 10? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Shreyas' point is spot on. I really, that's something that I never really considered it. But the way you put it that way, it makes a lot of sense. However, the only thing is what Nick is saying now is what I'm thinking. It's like, is he in the double pivot or is he a 10? And the 10 in this system doesn't really suit him that well because it's for like a winger attacker.
Yeah.
But he's like a traditional 10, but he's not necessarily the best suited to the middle position. So it's one of those things where he's kind of having to accommodate, like, it's not really, it's kind of like what happens to him in Portugal. Like in Portugal, he doesn't really have like a nailed down place. That's why he's always coming off the bench. So it's one of them ones where, but Shreyas' point is good. I mean, if we sell him, what's the guarantee that we'll get someone to come in and make up for the goals and contributions that he makes? I'm not 100% confident that we can do that.
Yeah, me and Sam did the live a couple hours ago, and I think we said pretty much the same thing. Like, replacing him is too hard at the minute with the amount of priorities that we've got. So, yeah, appreciate that. We're going crucial. Casemiro.
Backup.
Yeah.
Get rid. The wages are too high. There's no future left in him, so he has to go.
I agree. I mean, if an offer came in for him now, I literally wouldn't even think about it. I'd say yeah, straight away. If Saudi came in and bought him now, get rid. So that's 2 for get rid. Shreyas, what did you say?
I said keep as a backup as well.
Backup, and you said backup, right? So that's split. Again, viewers,
like, you as a starter, it's not ideal to always have like someone like Casemiro starting, but you can't just get, if you have that sort of mentality in the dressing room, it's crucial. Like players like that, like how many times in Europe this season, as in he's one of the main reasons why we made it to that final.
In Europe.
And in Europe, yes.
Not in the Prem.
From Sociedad to but it's the European competition.
We're not in Europe.
We're not in Europe.
We're in the Prem. That's it.
No, but I'm talking about what he did. Like you can't just so his contributions in Europe don't count to what we do. Like you can't just write that off. So he's capable of pulling out these moments, and I think it's crucial to have that in the changing room. Yeah, I don't think he should be starting, but as a backup, 100%, I would.
Okay, well, I've put him in, keep as a backup for now, because the last time we had a kind of split decision, I put it in our category. So, Civir and Shreyas, you can have that Casemiro one. Manuel Ugarte.
One more season. I think there's been some moments this season where I've gone, I'm not sure here, but then he's had moments where I've been, I like what I've seen. So I think he deserves another season. However, I think we need to reinforce that midfield in this transfer window. So I'd give him one more season. That's where I'm at with him.
Shreyas.
I think his future generally depends on who he is actually partnered up with, because there are strengths to his game, there are weaknesses to his game, and we all have seen it. The strengths to his game is ball recoveries, actually biting the ball back from other attackers, covering a lot of ground. Very good in those positions. Spreading the ball out from the back, taking the ball of the back five, and then linking it with the attack are not his strong suits. If he's partnered up with someone who's technically very skilled on the ball, and on top of that is physically capable to manage the intensity of the league, I think then we can see a much better much consistent performances out of Ugarte. But he's not someone, he's not an 8. He's not even that sort of a player who I would say that, is very calm under possession. He's someone who's there to put fires out. So for me, I'll keep him for another season and see how much he can actually generate, because I think right now the timeline for players at United is actually quite shortened because of, again, the season we've just had. It's make or break season for Amorim. So depends on the summer reinforcements we are able to get into that midfield. But if we are able to sort him right with someone like an Ederson profile, I think you'll see much better consistent performances from him.
Yeah, when you watch PSG play, you can kind of see why they got rid of him.
Yeah.
One more season, I think, because he's only been here for a season. I'll keep him for one more season. He does something very specific, and he does it really, really well. It's almost like a cheat code when you bring him in to put fires out. Starting the game, I mean, especially in the Prem, like, what game was it where he just kept getting pressed the life out of it?
There was a few. West Ham, we conceded because of him. He fell off the ball. There was a couple in Europe. First 20 minutes against Bilbao away, we kept giving it away as well.
That was the one.
There's been a few.
He could even turn around, and he was you could tell that it was affecting his game, because he couldn't even turn. Every time he got, he just gave it back.
Yeah.
So I would keep him one more season. Maybe we can find a way to bring him in to like, if we're leading and we need to like break up plays or stuff like that. But as a starter, I don't know.
Where is it where we say, when we talk about teams near the top of our midfielders, none of them go like, oh, he's good at just doing this, So, do you know what I mean? Like, a lot of the players that they have, Tillemans, they're good at everything. You know, Gravenberch is pretty much good at everything. McAllister's good at everything, like, all around. For me, it might sound controversial because when he first came in, I was like, you know, if we get someone who can play football alongside him, it might work. But I've looked at him now, I'd sell him if possible. If an offer came in for him, 40, 50 million, I'd sell him.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Oh, if an offer came in, yes. I wouldn't even
That's
hesitate.
the category, sell if possible. So that's what I would put him in personally. But
yeah, because if you think about it, his best games is when he's next to Casemiro. And that's not longevity. Him and Bruno don't work. Him and Kobe don't work. Him and Eriksen is a disaster.
Yeah.
So if your best game is is with Casemiro, who is kind of like on his way out, then I like him. I really, really like him. I really like him, but we just need someone a little bit more versatile.
There have been games where Amorim has had to play him with Collier as well as Meno and put Bruno in there as well, just to accommodate that midfield to box other other players out, because ball progression wise he's not up there.
Yeah,
can't progress it.
PSG have highlighted that more than anything with Vitinha, Neves, and Ruiz. You look at that and you're like, wow, he is levels off that. He is.
Just look at Liverpool, Gravenberch, McAllister, like
Wirtz.
You look at Wirtz now, like you like. It's not even near that. It's not even near that.
How are they going to do the Wirtz thing? So is he going to play on the left then?
No, Wirtz will play where Szoboszlai plays. It's like
a
10,
in the 10.
/8. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because Szoboszlai is a runner and he's like kind of one of those players, but like a Gallagher, for example. But he's not a creative wizard who gets loads of goals. And whereas Wirtz, they see him as that kind of prototype. Ugai, I'll put him for now in one more season, but I would sell him, to be honest with you, genuinely. Kobbie Mainoo. What do we do? Because as a player, I think it's undeniably that he is a good player. Remember, for England under Ten Hag, he was a special. A lot of people saying generational talent, right? You can't really skate around that. That's what he was saying. In this system, Amorim does not seem to rate him at all.
He doesn't know where he fits. He's played him in the 8. He's played him in the 6. He played him in the 10. He played him in a false 9. He doesn't know where to put him in this team. He doesn't know where to put him, and I think Kobbie knows that, because you've seen his performances. He seems lost. He seems unsure. He seems like he hasn't got the freedom that he had under Ten Hag or the swagger. He just seems a shell, and he's on the pitch now. He's also been injured as well, so it's the difficult second album, innit? When that band comes out with the first album, oh my god, this band's fucking amazing, and then you have to make the second one, and it's never as good as it. It's always like, not
Same
as great.
Movies,
that's why,
a lot of time, innit?
that's where he's at. That's where he's at right now. So this is the crossroads of like what we do with Kobbie Mainoo, like what happens here. I think keep him, because I think he's so talented. We have to find a way to make this work. There has to be a way to make it work. But if a massive offer comes in, there has to be a consideration.
We can't. 100%. Yeah, 100% agree with Sam. 100%. Also, just to add to that, we can't make the same mistake we did with McTominay, because McTominay has always been an 8. He's always been more effective in an attacking role.
Yeah.
We played him at DM, we played him deep. Yeah. We played him at centre back on the. Someone played him on the centre back. I can't
Scotland used to play him at centre back all the time.
But yeah, we always wanted to just use his physical attributes and just put him deep and to break. Well, that's not what he does. So we have to use that as an example and play Kobbie Mainoo and find a role where we can exploit, where we can bring out the best in his game. And McTominay is just gone on one Scudetto. Like, he won that.
He won Player of the Year as well. Player of the Year.
Yeah, exactly. So we have to find a role where Mainoo is comfortable playing, where we can't sell it. Like, the talent is just too much. And I get Nick's points. Like, there were times where I think what Sam was saying, there were times when he hasn't really been consistent in any of the positions that he's played in. We've seen flashes in places, but not like a consistent performance.
Yeah.
One of the games where he's playing well. So that's up to us. Well, the coaching staff to find that best role for him, because that's what we paid him to do.
Well, it's mad, isn't it, Shreyas, when you think this is a kid he was played in a final, started in a final for England, scored in an FA Cup final against Man City for us, and now he gets 2 minutes in the final.
Can't get in the team, And I think the biggest problem for him in this system is the roles for midfielders are so defined and so constricted that he's not able to play he's not able to
free
express
flow.
himself fully on the pitch.
Yeah.
Under Ten Hag, what the best thing that he used to have was he had that freedom to actually take on defenders.
Yeah.
He used to drive with the ball forward, take on defenders, and so many times he used to scoop balls up back inside the box, link up quite well with Bruno while he was progressing with the ball. That has completely gone out in this system, and I don't think that his future is as a six or as in that double pivot in this system. The role just absolutely kills his, I would say, natural play style.
Yeah.
As a 10, could see it working with the right players around, but what matters to me more is Amorim even going to use him next season? Because you've got Ahmad, you've got Bruno, you're going to be getting Cunha in as through the door as well. That's 3 players already who I would say are right now ahead of the pecking order in comparison to Kobe.
I look at Mainu and he's kind of in between because he's not someone who's going to aggressively press from the front like a Cunha, for example, and the way Ahmad does in one of those inside 10s. But his recovery runs aren't good enough either for the midfield. So that's why. Yeah, he's not quick enough or static enough to kind of, get back and forth. But when he's free-flowing and creative, maybe a Barca or a Pep kind of team would suit him a little bit more in that kind of regard. If he played in the midfield for that, I don't know. But I'm just saying.
I just want the manager to actually, give him a fair shot and actually give him a good run of games, because what would be worse is we go into this season as well. He doesn't get into the team. By the time January kicks in, he's only got 10, 12 appearances. Yeah. That would be the worst situation that we could possibly be in.
I love him, by the way. I want to put that out. I love him as a player. I don't want to sell him, but I'm just worried about him. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I am worried about him. Where are we putting him? Crucial.
Crucial.
Yeah. Okay. In the context of things, it's obviously a conversation in it, but I think it's crucial to keep him. It's someone like him from the academy from Manchester. It's like the soul of the club, in it, really.
Yeah.
Having to sell players like that.
Players like that as well should get more time than the average player as well, because they're from Manchester and they're from the academy. You need to give them time. Can't just be throwing them out.
Toby Collier, back up for now.
Back up, yeah. Solid player.
Yeah.
I like the way he plays. He's calm. Nothing stresses him. He looks chill.
100%.
I think he's a good player to have. And again, not sure what his best position is yet. I'm still sort of trying to figure that out. But yeah,
I think with his legs, though, what you see in his simplicity, I'd want to see him in the midfield more for me personally.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's happening. I don't know why he's kind of had an injury and then he was in and out of the team. It was kind of I don't know, bizarre situation, that one to keep an eye on. Chivy, I'll let you kick this one off. Ricemus Hoyland, buddy.
Ricemus Hoyland.
That was like in a movie where you see an old man, you ask him about one of the nights out back in Chicago, and somebody goes, Chicago. Oh wait, I remember that.
But he did a filter where it goes.
Yeah. Retro kind of, yeah.
Honestly, yeah. Oh my god, I don't even know where to go with this one. I really don't want to waste too much time on this, but for the longest time, I've given him so many chances, and it's just every single time. And I remember I have to call you up on this one day.
Okay.
It was a month ago. You and Dan were on the show, and I think this is a month ago. And I think you guys were. I was on my lunch break just listening, and you guys were naming your teams. If everyone's fit, this is the team I'll pick. Both of you went for Hoyland, and I was screaming at my phone what's wrong with what am I missing here? Literally, it's
what you're missing is he's the only fit striker. That's what you're missing.
No, but what you and Dan were saying was if everyone was fit, you were picking your 11s, and you picked him over Xerxes or over whoever, Kudo.
Because I don't think Xerxes is
not better than any. It doesn't matter. It's just that you can't go worse than Hoyland. bro. Are you telling me right now that if everyone's fit, you still pick Oilers? You're not.
Listen, we're on a 49th minute mark, and we've got a few players to get through. So we can go at this in a WhatsApp or something. That's absolutely fine.
Exactly. Well, yeah, that's the thing. So you shouldn't have asked me this. You should have given this to Sam, who was.
All I said was Rasmus. All I said was Rasmus, and then you went, yeah, Rasmus. Remember a month ago? I was like, what?
Yeah. No. But no, just to keep it quick. Yeah, everyone knows this. I think it's time. Yeah.
Okay. Sam, go on.
Do you remember when our granddad you'd ask him a question, he'd close his eyes and then lean back, and you're like, "Oh, we're gonna be here for an hour now.
Yeah.
This is it. You're not gonna escape it." That's what Chivy's face did to me. He went, "Oh shit."
Let me tell you how bad he was in that season. They're the only conversations that are going to be around a minute in the future. Like,
this is one of the ones where you sit next to the fire.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, you think the strike is bad now? Let me tell you, 24-25.
Yeah. Chivy's got a pipe in his rocking chair. He's got his house in Nigeria. He's like, kids, let me tell you about Rasmus Højlund.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, we're still not decided. Get rid.
Get rid.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't see a way back for him. I just can't.
Goodbye, Erasmus. I think there were a few clubs interested in Italy as well. So, yeah. Marcus Rashford.
Bye. See you later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get rid.
Get rid. It's time to go. Go to Barcelona if you can get your move. Joshua Zirkzee, back up.
Back up. We need a striker. He'd be a good backup, though. Yeah.
I think
for me, he's someone who had put in give one more season, because the reason for it being, I really like him on the ball. I think technically he's very, very gifted, but in this system, he does what's his best position. And if we are playing in one of those front threes, you need your players to have output. He's not someone who can deliver you output. He can deliver you good build-up play or sometimes good hold-up play in the ball and try and get the other 10s into play. But is he someone who's going to get you 20 goals a season? He's not that sort of a player.
I agree. You changed my mind. I'd go one more season as well. So
yeah, in this system, I'll probably go one more season as well. Yeah.
Okay.
He's like that's like everyone has gone like they compare him to like the Firmino sort of role.
Yeah.
He like allows for other people to play, but we need output, like you said, Shreyas. Like we actually need output. So I'll go to one more season. Yeah. Sorry, Sam.
We need the players to allow him to give them the output, and we don't have him because nobody's performing. None of our players are performing. So who's the outputting? So until we get those players around him, I don't know how effective he's going to be.
The next one is not my biological son, but he might as well be my son, Amad Diallo.
Key critical, very, very important.
Just
beg him to stay.
That's a rhetorical question.
Yeah, absolutely. I love and adore him. Now, this one's very topical. Garnacho.
Bye. See ya. Don't let the door hit you on the way out, mate.
Yeah, I am with that. He's going in get rid because three of us have just said it.
Yeah.
But go Chive, if you want to air your grievances or whatever. I don't know what the right word is, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you didn't make those comments, then I would have put him in like a backup sort of situation.
Yeah.
But then I think with the comments and the manager, them going back and forth, I think that's over now. But I would have put him in the backup thing, because if we're going to lose Anthony and Rashford and all these people, like we need some sort of backup. Like, so
yeah.
But yeah,
he
go on.
is in the get rid, and we've got three players left, starting off with the Ballon d'Or Real Betis Magnifico. It is Anthony. It's time to cash in it, lads. It's time to cash in right now.
There'll never be a best.
His price is never going to be as high as it is right now. It's never going to get any higher. So just fucking take the offer. Whatever it is, just take it. Like, Jesus Christ.
It's like deal or no deal. And you know your box has got $1 million in it. Take it.
Just take it.
Take it.
Yeah.
Don't do another deal. The time is now, as John Cena would say.
Don't fucking negotiate either. Don't be like, oh, maybe we could get 10 million or whatever more, and then lose the deal. Just fucking take it and go.
Price?
Like, pretend to consider it. For like,
pretend. Yeah.
Can I just speak to my consultant? Yeah.
If you bring you up, I'll put you on hold. Just 1 second.
Oh, hold on. Just like,
and there's no one in the room. There's nobody else in the room. He's just like, we'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah, so you know what? We'll do it. We'll do it just because he's having a good time there. You just want to keep him. We'll do you a favour. Right, he's in the get rid category. Goodbye, sir. We're glad you're doing well, Batiste, because that'll be extra cash in our piggy bank. Jadon Sancho.
Bye. See ya.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that video of that guy who goes on loan? So it's like a French club, and then when he comes back, they've locked the door, so he's trying to get in. And like the door's it's a real video. It's like some guy who went on loan somewhere. Yeah, and he tries to get into the club, like the front doors.
Yeah.
And they've locked it, like, that's the kind of idea. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, time to go. He is going to come back, by the way, so we have to kind of prepare for that.
Yeah.
Because Chelsea are going to pay 5. Yeah.
We're getting 5 million out of it, though. So
but then how much are we going to spend on his wages per fucking month? Like, that's $1 million a month for his wages, isn't it? So that'll go within 5 months, quite literally, with having him at the club. Which is just, so he's in the get rid. I don't think many people would argue with that. And the last one is Chido. And we don't really, back up, Chido, loan. Where are we at?
Depending on how many forwards we get in, I'd say loan him. If we get enough forwards, he might find his game time a bit limited. So go out and loan him. But if not, back up.
What made me realise that I can't remember who we played. There was one game where he started, I think, up top. And him and Amas really, really struggled.
Wolves, I guess.
Yeah.
Wolves, it might have been. Or Newcastle or something like that. Can't remember who it was.
You need experience. You need experience.
The physicality, and it was just a little bit too much for him. So I think a loan. And I think there'll be a lot of clubs, by the way, lining up to loan him as well. So, we've come to the end of the tier list. I'll tell you who's in what category. So in the get rid category, I have to take me Simon Cowell glasses off for this just so I can properly see it. Get rid, we have Onana, Bayende, Lindelof, Malacia, Dallo, Shaw, Johnny, is that Johnny Evans? Not Johnny Evans. Mason Mount, sorry, apologies. Rasmus Højlund, Marcus Rashford, Alejandro Garnacho, Antony, and Jadon Sancho.
How many are
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 players in the get rid, which is... Not doesn't surprise me at all, to be fair. We've got none in the sell if possible, which surprises me. 3 in one more season. So Maguire, Lisandro Martinez, Ugarte, and Joshua Zirkzee fall into that category. In the keepers backup, we have Matthias de Ligt, Dorgu, Heaven, Amas, Fredrickson, Casemiro, and Collier. And then in the crucial... 5 players make that list. It's Mazraoui, Yoro, Bruno Fernandes, Ahmad, and Kobbie Mainoo. Happy with that, lads?
Yeah.
Let us know, viewers, if you're happy with it yourselves. Anyone you disagree with, put your opinions in why you disagree with it. Don't just put, I don't like that list. Put why you don't like the list and why you would change it and who you would bring in and all that kind of stuff.
He's a dickhead. Get him.
Yeah, state your reasons why, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So, quite happy with that. Thank you to all the viewers who, I'm presuming people are going to be watching this, so we don't know. They might have 0 views, but thank you to anyone who's been interacting. The channel's popping off at the minute. It's been quite good for interactions and stuff. Same thing with social media as well. If you do want to drop us a follow over on our socials, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, etc., then you're more than welcome to. Big up Civir, Shreyas, and Sam for taking time out of their wonderful weekend to watch. I'll say to watch us play football, then to discuss football. We are playing football tomorrow, whether anyone gives a shit or not. We are. I'll be there for the pre-match and post-match, so please do come and join us. But apart from that, subscribe to the channel. We are 87 subs off 15,000 subscribers. So if there is anyone new and you've enjoyed the content, hit that subscribe button, and we will all see you guys in the next one. See you in a bit.